in Canada. And I'm working on my Thanksgiving dinner. So I'm going to give you guys a few minutes for everybody to come in who is going to come in because folks, hang on a second. I have to check something. Oh, that's what I thought. I forgot to turn the ads on. I'm turning the ads on, and I'm going to give everybody a chance to come on in, watch the ads. Thank you. There we go. There we go. I get so busy that I forget to do things, right? So give me a second here. This is Thanksgiving weekend in Canada. And I'm making, hey, I'll say hi when there's a few more folks in here. Hi, Joe Mama, Marla Cato, Corey C., Sally Starnes, Jean Phillips, Kim Solomon, Aloha Seashell, Linda Chandler, hi. This is Thanksgiving here in Canada this weekend. Thank you. Thank you very much, Kingdom Artist, Rosie Slade, Samantha Nelson, and Dallas. Hey, baby. How are you, darling? So, hi, Jean Phillips. So, well, tomorrow's actually Thanksgiving Day, but we do it on the Sunday if family's here so that they can travel home and stuff. Hey, Corey. So, I am doing, oh, hang on. I got to fix the lighting on this so I can see better. I had to fix the lighting. So I am doing a video for y'all, and you're going to get it tomorrow, on a pantry pull Thanksgiving meal. Try to make me a little more centered there with the clouds. Thank you. Thank you. Hey, Aces, Alice, Paula. So what I'm doing is I'm making a pantry pull supper because, as everybody knows, that is just going to, why is this? Why am I not centered? Maybe that's the way it needs to be. I don't know. I'm a balance. I'm a balance freak. So, oh, well, thank you. I got a lot of people who said to me, oh, no, shouldn't buy those rotisserie chickens. They're pumped full of chemicals, and they're factory farm chickens, and they're raised on GMO corn. What do you think the whole chickens that you buy in the store are? If they don't say cage-free organic, grain-fed, non-GMO, then you're eating the exact same as the chickens that they make on the rotisserie in Costco, right? Exactly, Linda Bops. Food is food. And the point being is, it's with our economy the way it's going and the way it's all in a kerfuffle, our whole world's in uproar right now. And that's what my Thanksgiving video is about. Right? Our whole world's in a kerfuffle. Do the best you can with what you have and pick your battles. If I'm not going to pay $11, $12 for a small chicken raw when I can get one for $7.99 cooked at Costco. It's that simple. I'll make up the difference in my home canning and all the organic stuff I grow in my gardening. You got to pick your battles. We're at that point in our economy, right? Yeah, food shaming is not fair, right? Hey, LG, Jill V, Malka, hello, darling, Annette King, Donna Lol. So that's what that is all about. And someone said they want to know what my food vacuum sealer is. You didn't see how much I fought. I had to use 2 vacuum sealers to get that done. And they're both crap. Like my it's not a food saver. It's a seal a meal. It's bit the dust. It doesn't work properly. And my little cheap Chinese one, I was using it to seal the bags. And it was just nonsense. It was just nonsense. It was a lot of work. So I'm going to be, what about grain-fed chicken? PA sells those. Well, corn is a grain, isn't it? It's not a vegetable. Corn's a grain. So you know, they have legally made the industry of food and chemicals. The FDA and Canada Health and Food and Safety. Words have meaning, folks. And when it says grain fed, it still could be genetically modified corn. You feel me? So don't go by the labels unless it says grain fed, non-GMO, cage-free, organic. Otherwise, you're eating the same thing everybody else is. Hey, Laura Higgins, how's it going? I find grain-fed less. What are you saying? I find grain-fed less fatty. Well, Malka, can you afford grain-fed? You know, they're all the same. They're just labels to get you to buy. Like I said, unless it says air-chilled, grain-free, or air-chilled, grain-fed, cage-free, non-GMO, organic, then what you're buying is a crapshoot. It does cost more, exactly. Hey, crazy Grandma Wheeze. Omnivores and need worms and bugs too. Yes, they do. Oh, there's my sheaf of wheat bread. I'll be right back. I got to get it out of the oven. Do you want to see it? Do you want to see it? If it's done, I'll show it to you. Oh, a sneak preview. Nope, it needs another 10 minutes. I've never made this before. So, hey, Peggy. Doug Prentice, hey. Yeah, cage-free doesn't mean anything either. Why? Because all of those factory farm chickens, they're not in cages. They're on a great big floor where they can barely move. So, hey, homie! Jane Kubicek, darling, how are you? So, tomorrow is Thanksgiving, and I'm having our dinner today so that I can produce the video for my Canadian friends tomorrow. Doesn't matter. And, you know, these might be some good ideas. This is a pantry pull Thanksgiving. Why? Because we were supposed to go to the races this weekend and have a potluck supper, and the kids were going to trick or treat around the mobile homes where all the cars are parked and stuff. And last week we had a fatality. There was a fatal crash. And although the races are canceled and all that stuff, they still wanted to do the potluck supper. But who wants to go to a Thanksgiving potluck supper, next to the track where somebody died last week? It actually seems, it kind of seems disrespectful. So we decided to stay home. Yeah. So let's not talk about it, right? There's only so much we can do, but Howie and I are thinking of getting some chicks next year. And maybe a couple of turkey poults if we can. I was just thinking about whether I had the energy to put some bread together after being in the garden stooping and balancing for half an hour. We'll wait until you see the bread I'm pulling out of the oven. It's called, now this is where I'm adding a bit of my British United Kingdom heritage. Because remember, my dad's parents came over from Scotland in 1919. So, and this is something I've never seen done in my family, but I'm going to adopt it as a Thanksgiving tradition, if only to mark the difference between a Canadian Thanksgiving, which is a harvest home supper. We just call it Thanksgiving because we're right next to the United States, but it doesn't mean the same. It's a harvest celebration, right? And one of the big, hi, Tony, Sandra Hudacek. Happy Thanksgiving to you and Howie and Gracie and your kids. Well, I don't know where my kids are. Well, Briar's at home, and Arthur and Mel went and spent the week at Arthur's bio dad's. So, know what's funny? My friend buys all organic, even for her pets, but she also hates her husband hunting. Lean, sustainable, affordable deer. Yeah, I know. The problem is they're really not organic anymore, because most deer will eat ground apples and carrots and all kinds of stuff, and there's nothing truly organic anymore, is there? And so I'm a Heights 57 mutt too, Jill. My mom's side of the family is like got some Pennsylvania Dutch and British and native, like indigenous people. I mean, it's all over the board on my mom's side. I know that my grandmother on my father's side, I believe her family was from Britain. But even animals know food is food. Exactly. I'm from the US, and many people I know consider Thanksgiving a time to be thankful for the harvest. That's pretty much it. In school, the emphasis was cornucopia or horn of plenty, while what I am doing the emphasis on is wheat. Yes, we have turkey. Yes, we have pumpkin pie. But I'm doing the emphasis on wheat because wheat was a huge, or is, I don't know if it still is, a huge industry in Canada. I mean, until things got all sell high to foreigners and buy cheap for your own, wheat was our big industry in Canada. So that being said, when I think of Thanksgiving, I don't think of stupid pilgrims because they were just invaders. I think of the harvest. It's all about the harvest, isn't it? It's all about the harvest. So today I'm doing a pantry pull Thanksgiving meal. Why is it a pantry pull meal? A, I didn't have a turkey. B, the cheapest turkeys I could find were $1.88 a pound on sale. So I thought, I'm not doing that, but do you remember me canning up that turkey I did this year? How I cut the rib cage out and I raw packed it. So I'm going to make a Thanksgiving meal out of my pantry. A, it's what I got. B, I don't have a turkey, and even if I did, I wouldn't cook it for two people. And C, I want to show people with a properly prepped pantry, you can make a Thanksgiving harvest supper just as beautiful. You don't have to buy the big turkey and the big pumpkin pies and stuff. I'm just making a harvest home Thanksgiving dinner for two from the pantry. And that will be tomorrow's video, even though it's a day off here. The avian flu made for a shortage of turkeys. Don't even go there with me, okay? I don't trust anything that comes out of mainstream media. So let's just leave that at that, okay? We have spent the last 3 years finding out how much mainstream media is lying to us and how it is tweaked by the government for their own agenda. And that's all I'm going to say. But they have been throwing, that's not all I'm going to say. They have been throwing stuff at us for years, telling us, "Ooh, there's this. Ooh, there's an oil shortage." Yeah, because Trudeau made it illegal for tankers to park off the coast off the West Coast where our oil fields are. All of these things have been manipulated. We have been manipulated far too long. Turn off your TVs, open a book. Okay? Open a book. Look outside, how beautiful it is, and how the sun is shining and the air is cool and the leaves are falling, and my pantry is full. I've got everything to be thankful for, right? Hey, Roberta, how's it going, darling? Now, I'm not asking you not to talk, Malka. I'm asking you to do some critical thinking. Mainstream media is not here to inform us. It's here to move us in directions. All right. I went into, I love Kansas. I'd love to, well, I hear a lot about Kansas. I'd love to see a lot of the United States. I want to go, I want to go into the hills of Kentucky. Thank you, Ken. Thank you very much. Okay, so that's what's going on. I'm making mini pumpkin pies. I'm making a pantry pull supper and a harvest wheat bread. And so that'll be my Thanksgiving meal will be tomorrow. Okay. Oh, okay, Malka. Well, I could open a book, but I still can't read it. That's why I listen to people that I know are being truthful. How come? Have you got vision issues, Lacey? I stopped TV several. Well, listen, guys, I'm not holier than thou, all right? I have TV. This is being streamed on a 5G phone, right? Because the point, what's the point of having the new Bell system in my phone is 5G. And guess what? The tower's right over there. So whether I was using it or not, it's still in the air. So, I mean, deal with what you can. Keep putting one foot in front of the other and stop frightening yourself with things that are beyond your control. Control the things you do have control over, right? And remember, control is an oxymoron, okay? Because really, there is no control. Only how we respond to things that are right in front of us, right? Hey, Helen, how are you? It's Ness. Hi, Nessie. Happy Thanksgiving, darling. Exactly, Paula. They're putting them up all over the place. There's only one reason I can get the Bell fiber optics here, and the Bell, because the tower is right over the next hill. Hey, Farmer Red, how are you? I'm good, Helen. I'm good. I did deer apples. That's going to be a video. Everybody asked me what deer carrots and deer apples are. Okay, I'm going to tell you right now. Deer carrots and deer apples. The apples are grounders. In other words, when they pick all the most beautiful fruit off the apples off the trees for trade, and all the good ones go to cider or applesauce mills, then the ones that are shook down, they might be bruised, they might have a nick in them or something. Those are all gathered up, put in bags, and sold for deer bait. Period. Full stop. And there's my bread. Are you ready to see this? Hi, Sassy. You ready to see my harvest wheat bread? Now, I just made a little one because there's only 2 of us. But you're seeing this. I have never made one of these before. Whoops. Let me tilt you down so you can see this. This is bread baked in the shape of a sheaf of wheat. And yes, I'm going to show you how to do it on the video. I'm so proud of that. Oh, I'm so proud of that. I got the idea. Excuse me. I got the idea from my show called The Midwife. Say hi, Gracie. Oh my goodness. Daddy went away for a drive today to pick up a motor and he didn't take the baby. Oh my goodness. Mommy feel you, girl. Yes, you are. Yes, you are. Okay, watch the skin, okay? Oh, you gonna have some Thanksgiving turkey? You gonna have some Thanksgiving turkey too? Oh. Let me itty bitty piece of daddy's pumpkin. Hunk of pumpkin boy. Have a kiss? Give me a kiss. Thank you. All right. Mwah. Where you go, baby? Oh, God. And just remember that, folks. Opinions are like arseholes. Everybody has one, and most of them stink. What we need to do is we need to rely more on each other for what's going on in the world around us. Because as far as I'm concerned, everything's cool here. Right? I know there's a whole bunch of crap going on, and that Legault got back in for Quebec and all that stuff. But when it comes right down to it, this is here. I have a lot to be thankful for, and that's what I'm doing. And that I've never seen a sheaf of wheat bread before until I watched Call the Midwife. And I went, ooh, I'm going to try that. She is a very good girl. Oh, there you go, Malka. That sounds like a lovely, hearty, and full of nutrients supper. All of my tattoos tell a story, yes. But it's not something I share much. The carrots currently in our store look much worse than your deer carrots. Really? Well, when I went to buy the deer apples, they were pretty bad. And usually they're $8 a bag. This year they were 10. I did not ask how much the carrots were. I'm pretty sure they were $10 a bag too, but I got mine for 7. But the apples I had to remove probably 10 or 15, no, probably 15 or 20% of them to give to the deer because they were smashed or indented or bruised or badly broken. So what I did was I just sorted them and washed them, because I'm also making cider vinegar too. None of those apples is going to waste. What we couldn't eat went out to the edge of the property for the deer. Laugh, re-carrot. I don't understand. Yeah, easy peasy's good, Malka. Helping a friend with her mom, and she is cleaning out her fabrics and you get what she doesn't want. Wow. My cousin Marilyn sent me a message saying that. Now, my cousin Marilyn is daughter to my Aunt Jane, God rest her soul. Aunt Jane died in her 80s, some 20 some years ago. And probably, I think 1999 maybe. Doesn't let you handpick some veggies after they're remodeled. Yeah. I'm making ribs for supper. Country style pork ribs are so cheap. I have a problem with pork. Unless it's like bacon or ham or pea meal. Green pork, which is we call uncured pork, my belly does not like. Bev, is it possible to make peach jam with about 8 large fresh peaches? If so, how? Well, you peel and dice up your peaches, measure them, like make them into like 1 inch, half-inch cubes, measure them, and puree them. Measure the puree and add an equal amount of sugar, and then add when it's all boiled, when it's all the sugar's all dissolved in the peaches. Then add a packet of your store-bought powdered pectin or a half a cup of your homemade pectin, and then cook it until it sheets, right? Cook it till it's thick. I did it. So yeah, you can make it. It doesn't have to be, you don't have to have a bushel of peaches to make a small, couple of jars of jam, right? Having an unhealthy meal tonight: fried green tomatoes, potato cakes, and fried spam and spinach. God, I'm coming to your house. It sounds, I've never had fried green tomatoes. Everyone keeps telling me to do fried green tomatoes. Guys, all of my green tomatoes go into relish, pickles, salsa verde, all of those things. Can it be done without pectin? Yeah, you just have to cook it until it's nice and thick. Your jam will be a little bit runny, but you want to hard cook it, which means bring it up to a hard boil so that it can't be stirred down, and add a half a teaspoon of butter to it so it doesn't foam up much. You may want to add a little bit of water just to get the juices running, and then cook it until, you put a little drop, put a saucer in your freezer, and every once in a while, drop a little bit of your peach jam on it. And if it solidifies into a jam-like consistency, it's ready. If it doesn't, put that saucer back in the freezer and keep stirring. Do not stop stirring. Chicken Puttanesca. What's chicken Puttanesca? Sounds fancy. I won't eat spam. I haven't had spam in years. I'd rather have canned corned beef. They make this, my dad used to call it bully beef. And it's canned corned beef. And he would slice that up, put it on toast and mustard. Bev, do you have recipes for all the green tomato uses? I have so many to deal with. Seashell. I hate to ask you, Seashell. Can you put up my yummy green tomato chow pickles, my green tomato salsa, my green tomato relish, and what else I've made green tomato mincemeat before. So I have, thank you, Seashell. I have all those recipes. Yes, I have all those videos. Quick canning question. Okay, Grandma. I'm doing my chickens. Can I pressure can the giblets so they're ready to just open and make gravy? Yes, but make sure you take off that inner, when you open it up and there's that skin in there that grinds the grain, make sure you peel that off. And I would do it I would dice it up and I would can it in broth. Okay? Wait, if they're in a playlist, can I go find it? I don't know if they're in a playlist. I don't know, because I do all my playlists by year. And look under my home economics playlist. But not all of them are there because I didn't start the home economics playlist until this year. Green tomato mincemeat, yeah. How cute. Hope it tastes good. Can't wait to see the video. You should be proud of everything you do. Well, thank you, Sandra. Well, thank you, Patricia. It's now if you wanted one of those and you wanted it just for decoration, like the one I made is very small. Normally if you're doing a Thanksgiving dinner with more than 4 people, you make a nice big one. And it's like a centerpiece. And then you can break it off and dip it in your gravy and stuff, or, But the truth is, if you just want to pull it out every year, you can make one of those. If I wanted to make that permanent, so non-edible as a decoration, I would put it back in the oven at a lower temperature, like 250, and then let it cook for about 4 hours. Then let it cool and varnish it with clear varnish. And then you can bring it out every year and just put it out as a display. But we're eating this one because I made a small one. At the 1870s homestead, Rachel just did a mock apple pie filling with green tomatoes. I made one with zucchini. And if I hadn't said, now I bet you think that's an apple pie. Or do you, what kind of pie do you think that is? If I hadn't said that to him, that alerted him. If I hadn't said that to him, he would have thought it was an apple pie. Because Howie's really funny about textures. He doesn't miss much, right? Oh, the goulash was delicious. They sell Spam here in the USA. I'm sure they sell it here too. Salisbury steak with mashed potatoes. Yum. It's nothing special. It's just pretty much sausage and ham meat in a can. But I'm making, like I said, a pantry full Thanksgiving dinner. So, and I just talked to Howie before I went live, and he's off. He says, I'm really hungry. When's dinner? And I said, not till 6:30. So you better have something while you're out, like a muffin or something. It's mincemeat made with green tomatoes and mincemeat made with green tomatoes. But you want to eat it in Hawaii. We only have it maybe twice a year. Well, there you go, Joe. And you know what? Food is food, right? I'm going to do the best I can, not to gain any weight this winter because I worked so hard to lose what I have, right? But let's face it, there's only 2 of us here for Thanksgiving. And at Christmas, we don't know where we're going to be. We may be in Peterborough, waiting for a grandchild to be born. Not true. There is no meat in canned mincemeat, Linda. But when you make a traditional mincemeat pie, you add suet and ground deer meat. It is a sweet, savory meat and vegetable apple pie. I've never made one. I've made little mincemeat pies without the meat, and they were too rich. They were way too rich. And my mother-in-law was the only one who ate them, so I didn't bother making any more. Yes, you can make mincemeat without the meat, but it's called meat for a reason. Put an apple crisp in the oven with my $1 per pound apples I found yesterday. Good for you. You'll see in the video what I got, but I dehydrated apples, and I've got apples in simple syrup. And when I made the simple syrup, I stewed the sugar with cinnamon sticks in it, just for a little bit of flavor. Cinnamon green tomato pie. Ooh. Yeah, there you go. Any suggestions from anyone here how to reuse large plastic containers like from protein shake mix? And what to reuse a 3-liter olive oil tin for? Well, if you're going to make your own cider vinegar, right? You can use that olive oil tin for used frying oil. I don't know. I don't buy it in the tins. I buy it in the bottles. And I have corks. That way, if I want to, you'll see it. I'm saving all my dark glass olive oil jars for when I make my cider vinegar. And then I'm going to fill them and cork them. So you can store pasta in those. Those are the protein shake. Thanksgiving question. Give me a second, Matthew. The protein shake powder, if they're a plastic container, that's obviously a food grade container. So, you could store macaroni in it, rice in it, or whatever you want. Okay. Where is Matthew? Thanksgiving question. I picked up a half a smoked ham. Should I heat it up plain, or would you do a rub glaze? Is it cooked? If it's smoked but not cooked, then you can do, I like a glaze. I like doing a glaze. I make a glaze of brown sugar, ginger ale, and ginger. What else? Yeah, ginger ale, and brown sugar and ginger and a bit of mustard. You can go as fancy as you want with that. And that's what I make my glazes out of. I haven't done one in a long time, but I'm thinking of getting a spiral ham because I've seen them go on sale. Did I miss anything? I put sliced apples in the freezer. Do you think I could just dehydrate them? Sure you can. Mine, you don't have to blanch apples for dehydrating. I just put them on. The trick with dehydrating apples is everyone goes, well, they're still soft. When they look done, but they're still bendable, shut your dehydrator off and let them cool down. If they're crisp, they're done. But you have to let them cool down for them to get crisp. Okay? How is your son doing? Which son? Jane! Hi! How are you, darling? I'd love it if you were in Peterborough with Christmas. Possibly a visit with you. Absolutely. What we're going to do is we're probably going to go down and stay in a motel or in a hotel that allows us to bring Gracie. And then if we have to go to the hospital or visit Arthur and Mel, my sister will look after the dog for a couple of hours if we have to do somewhere where, like, Arthur and Mel's house is not dog friendly because they have 2 cats, right? Hey, cooking mom. Recovering from post-secondary bacterial or respiratory infection, I found an online doctor and I'm on antibiotics now. Good for you. Hey, Yoshi, how are you, darling? Does this name start with a B? That's the only one I heard you mention in the past. Briar's doing fine. As far as I know. As far as I know, Briar's doing fine. He's looking for work. And he's living in an apartment with his best friend Sunshine. They're sharing an apartment, and it's all good. He'll probably be coming down to we're going down to Peterborough at the end of the month to hey, do you want to come to I'll email you, Jane. Maybe we can meet up on the side. We're going down. We're taking our motor home. I've got to get Arthur to measure their driveway because my motor coach is 34 feet long. And if I can't fit it in their driveway with my little car, then we may not be able to take the coach down at the end of the month. But we want to go down because I haven't seen them since the summer, and I want to feel my grandbaby bump. It's been a horrible week, but praying for better days ahead. What's going on, Yosh? Ninja! Okay, awesome. Hawaii is the only place I've ever wanted to travel to. Hopefully someday. I wanted to go to Australia. I want to go to Scotland, England, Ireland, Wales, I want to do the whole UK one of these days while I can still walk. And I'd like to do, if we won the mega lottery, or if we won the lottery, I would like to do one of those Viking river cruises all up along, where you go into Germany, where the Christmas village is at Christmas time, where there's a Christmas village and all that stuff. But I doubt that's going to happen anytime soon because my Christmases in the future are going to be celebrated around my grandbaby. So, do you know what I'm talking about, Jane? I will send you a notice because I'll send you an email, Jane. Excuse me. Flour. When I worked at the bakery, how is my reception, by the way? I'm not pixelating or anything. When I used to work at the bakery, I had a split right here. You can see how this goes funny here. I had a permanent split in the wintertime. From like wasn't so bad in the summer because windows and stuff were open, but in the wintertime, I had a constantly leaky nose, and I was constantly doing this, and this split, and it would stay split all winter long from all-purpose flour. I have this thing with all-purpose flour. Oh, awesome. Yes to the UK, but yes to Hawaii. I want to go to Hawaii too. It looks even better than the postcards. Wow. Hey, Miss Math. Thank you. How are you, Dallas? Have you got your voice to type going? All right, guys, I'm going to go behind the fan for a minute. Because this is my first chance. I've been going. I had a weird dream last night. We have a mini vacay to Leavenworth, Washington in a month. It's styled up as an old German Bavarian village. Oh, that sounds... Oh, well, you take care of your hands, okay? You be careful. I'm just glad you're here, Dallas. All right? Don't overdo it. All right, sweetheart? I had a weird dream last night. I dreamt that I was dropped somewhere in the greater Toronto area, way the hell out from where I was born. And for some reason, I was going home. I'm a full-grown woman, and I was going home, and I walked it. And as I walked, I just kept asking people, where's Pape Avenue? Where's Pape Avenue? Where's Pape Avenue? I have no idea. Okay, well, where is the, the waterfront of Toronto? That kind of thing. And I would get general directions. And everywhere I went, every person I stopped to talk to, I learned something. One lady said, oh, you're on such a long journey. Come in and eat with us. And all it was a big steamed beet, bread and butter, and pickles. And the beet was so big that when she sliced it, it was like a steak, and it was a pinkish red with yellow rounds in it, and real butter. And oh my God, I could taste that. I could taste it. And she was sharing what she had, and it was a beautiful thing. So everywhere I went on my journey, I met people. And when I finally, I would stop and I would go through, and I kept going in this turn left, go forward, turn left, go forward in the direction of how people were pointing me, right? And there was one point where I think I was in like a little city or town or the outskirts of Toronto, and there was, people that were saying, come on and break bread with us. Come on and visit and tell us why you're on your journey. It was really weird. But when I finally got to Pape Avenue on this side of the railroad tracks, when I was a kid, there were railroad tracks you crossed to go to towers. So many people were killed on those railroad tracks that they had to build a great big walking overpass with 2 flights of stairs up or 3 flights of stairs up. You walk across and then go 3 flights down. But when I was a kid, there was no overpass. And I saw towers. Towers used to be like Zellers or like Target or whatever. And it was so covered in graffiti. The building was closed down. It was so covered in graffiti, and there were gang wars going all over the place. Right? And I just kind of went, okay, right? And I just kept walking. And then I saw Dundas, which they're actually talking about changing the name of Dundas, which is one of the most historic streets in Toronto. I don't care if the guy was a British who did school things. You can't rewrite history. But anyway, if anybody knows Toronto, this part of Toronto where I was grow up, wasn't Dundas, it was Gerrard. I got to Gerrard just past the tracks and all the graffiti. I got to Gerrard and I went, Gerrard, I'm almost home. And I went down Pape Avenue. Dundas, I'm almost there. And the next big cross street after Dundas was Queen. And I lived in between Queen and Dundas on a little street called Blong off of Pape Avenue. Yeah, really, eh? That's nuts. I know. But it's all the I've spent so much time not talking about it that I've forgotten what it is. The schools that they sent the Indigenous kids to. Right? Because he was a part of it or something, they don't want his name on it. Well, I'm sorry. That's a part of my history too. And you just leave shit alone, right? Gerrard and Dundas and Pape, love those old places. Well, Cook and Mum, I was born on a little street, dead-end street, off of Pape Avenue in between Dundas and Queen. It's now called, I believe they call it Leslieville. You could see the Colgate Palmolive factory from my front porch. It was an industrial blue collar area, right? That you are a good and caring parent. Okay, what did I miss? What's going on? I'm looking for Yoshi. Our youngest is going through some things mentally and emotionally. We were able to get him into therapy. I'll email you. Just pray for him, and please, he's only 13. Absolutely, sweetheart. But you know what the truth is? Most of everybody has gone through some kind of mental or emotional breaking stress point in the last 3 years. It's been really, really hard. You can't divide people from each other. You can't divide people from their holidays, their family, their traditions, their schools, their friends, and not expect some kind of mental trauma, mental, emotional, and spiritual trauma. And that's all I'm going to say on the subject, okay? But absolutely, we always pray at the end. I know. I remember when Gerrard Square opened for the first time. We used to go swimming. If I went with just friends, we could go swimming 2 places. We could go to the Pape Center, which is an indoor pool, and the chlorine was so high that you saw a halo for the rest of the day around your vision. Or we could go to Greenwood. Greenwood was an outdoor pool, and our parents never let us go the first week it was open because people would get killed in the crush of trying to get into the pool. So the Greenwood Park pool was where we'd swim if it was a beautiful day. And we used to toboggan down the Greenwood Park hills, and we used to toboggan at Riverdale too, off of Broadview. I believe it was off of Broadview. So there was a lot of good places in Toronto. We used to go skating at Nathan Phillips Square or at Mosquito Park or the Leslieville Park. We always called it Mosquito Park. So, I mean, we had a lot of places to roam back in those days where kids were kicked out of the house, said, go play, but stay within distance of my voice. And with my dad, that gave you a lot of rope to hang yourself by. My dad's voice, I inherited, but I'm a woman. Can you imagine a deeper, more resonating voice? My dad would step outside and go, Beverly! Like that. And the entire street would stop. Now, I could be at Jones and Queen at Mosquito Park. I wouldn't hear him, but it was like my antenna went up. Oh, shit. Gotta run. And if you weren't home going through that door before he called you the third time, you got the slipper on your arse as you were going through the door because you were too far away to actually hear his voice. Yeah, it was some dream, but when I got to Dundas, I woke up. And I realized that you can't go home again. But the truth was, I met a lot of amazing people on this journey, in this dream. People who shared whatever they had. People who wanted to get to know me better, wanted to be a part of my life journey. And I really think it all, what it is you guys, my community. I've shared so much of my life with you guys, where I'm from, what I do, how I got here. And just because I don't get to physically meet with 90% of you along the way doesn't mean we're not a community. Exactly, Malka, the symbolism. And the symbolism is that everywhere I went, no matter how different, by the time I reached Dundas Avenue, I was barefoot and in a tank top and shorts. I'd lost my purse. I think I gave everything away as I went. Because I remember sharing everywhere I stopped to share with somebody, I left something behind. Right? And I think that's the truth about life. Whether we're an internet community, or Oh, yeah, you can hear my whistle. You should hear me at a hockey game. Like, if I step out into a grocery store and Howie's parked far away, and people are like waiting for someone, or they're pushing their carts, I'll apologize and I'll say, everybody, I'm really sorry, but I got to whistle so my husband knows I'm ready because I can't see him. And they go, yeah. And then I go, don't do that in a closed room. And I wait, and he comes. If I do that without warning people within 10 yards of me, people will have heart attacks. You should hear me at a hockey game. Yes, it is shedding, but it's not shedding, it's sharing, Malka. It's this journey that I've been on started. I was going back to my roots, but you can't go all the way back because it's always about moving forward. But I was revisiting the reality of my neighborhood. And while I went on my journey, I met people. I shared with people. I broke bread with people, or beets. Oh, that beet, I can still taste it. This great big slice of steamed pinkish red beet with yellow rings in it, butter and salt and pepper. Oh my goodness. But the truth is I think it's symbolic of the community that we've built on YouTube. We may never reach out and physically touch one another, but so many of you have been sharing my journey for so long that you're like family. You are family. You're my YouTube family, right? So I look at that and I go, how blessed am I? How blessed am I that I have so many people in my life on a daily basis that love and support and encourage me, right? That's you guys. I love you for that. I don't have a lot of vivid dreaming. Most of my dreams, like I woke up and I said to Howie, I just had the weirdest dream. I walked to Toronto, to my old neighborhood. And thank you, Linda. Well, that's the thing, right? 9-3 Dallas ahead. Oh, Cowboys game? You got you got all your coat and stuff out? I don't watch football. I grew up on Sunday afternoon CFL football, and in the winter it was hockey night in Canada every Wednesday and Saturday night. Football wasn't my bag, but my brothers and my dad would watch it. And it was one of those times when, I'd go over to Aunt Josie and Uncle Joe's and watch Tiny Talent Time and Lawrence Welk and stuff because I just couldn't stand football. It was too noisy. And it was just raucous. But Mom was cooking a Sunday dinner for 1:00, and then it was digest your food while you watch the football game. Awesome! I think I saw those slippers, Dallas. I actually went Christmas shopping at Giant Tiger. I certainly didn't buy a lot of groceries because $2.27 for Maple Lodge Farms chicken bologna. And $5.47 for Schneider's was just outrageous. Memory, Tiny Talent Time, exactly. Mr. Dress Up, I love beef stew, and I've paid for my beef except for the last payment, and he doesn't want the last payment until we go to pick it up. But our beef is pretty much completely paid for. I've paid for 80% of it. So I have to warn hubby game is on. I scared him once, so now I warn him. Exactly. My ex watched all sports. If I never see any more sports, I won't miss it. I don't even watch hockey anymore. If I'm at a family gathering and there's a Toronto Maple Leafs game on, you bet I'm going to watch it, and you bet I'm going to cheer. I remember the last time I watched a hockey game at my dad's place, and my nephews were there, my brother was there, and my sister and my brother-in-law, and a whole bunch of family was there. Me and Howie and the boys. And we were down in Dad's TV room on his big old, the reflective TVs, those great big boxes, big screen TVs before flat screen TVs. And I remember going, no! when a puck went for the net and it got deflected. And I went, yes, 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 boom, and he scores. And my brothers are like, Bev, keep it down. And my nephew Andrew turned around and said, you don't mess with Aunt Bev's mojo, because when she gets into a game, shit happens. So I got some slippers from Giant Tiger because I've worn all mine out, and I'm going to knit some. But I saw these. They were $6 last year. They were $7 this year. I bought 2 pair, not 5. My son-in-law plays hockey. I love watching. I used to love. That's one of the things we used to do in Apsley, right? There wasn't a lot to do in the wintertime. You could go skating at the arena, or you could go and watch all the hockey games on the weekends or in the evenings. And I had a boyfriend who was a goalie. We won't talk about him because he is a psycho. But and I was like at all the hockey games, right? But I'm not huge into sports. I honestly think if you've never seen the movie Concussion with Will Smith, yeah, he's one of those elite Illuminati kind of type people. But anyway, I think he sold himself for his fame, but doesn't change the fact that he's an excellent actor. And I saw the movie Concussion, and it makes me never want to watch a football game again. I got my daughter-in-law my pillow moccasins. She's due to give birth in 2 months. Yeah. What's this? Yeah. So's my daughter-in-law. December 19th. So almost 2 months. I love watching figure skating sometimes. Not like an Olympic thing or maybe the Olympics, but it's one of those things you got to be in the mood for, but it is a winter thing to watch. But in Apsley, all there was dances at the community center, hockey games, and skating. That was it all winter long. That's what you got. And when you only had 2 channels on the TV, you went out a lot. We went tobogganing. We would do all kinds of stuff. I love that my partner does not like sports. Well, Howie watches sports. Not really into hockey. We stopped doing hockey together since he became a Sens fan and I'm a Leafs fan, and never the twain shall meet. My niece used to do figure skating. I figured Mama needed something. She was very grateful. Absolutely. Absolutely. So I don't know if she goes into, I don't know if apparently they induce on your due date if you haven't gone into labor by then these days. But I don't know if they're going to do that or if she's going to let it go for a couple of weeks and that will take her into maybe the new year. So we'll see. We'll see. We will see. Give me a second here, folks. If you don't know why I'm behind the fan, don't ask. Okay? So, I have to get off here and finish preparing and filming and editing my Thanksgiving celebration. Me too, Alice. What's my opinion on inducing? Shouldn't induce until after 2 weeks over. But when I went into labor with Arthur, I was due on the 20th. I went into labor on the 15th, and they induced me I went into labor on the 15th, but it was a slow labor and there was no pain. And I was 2 centimeters dilated for 2 days. So I went into the hospital the Sunday night, which was the 14th. I was in the hospital on the 14th. They broke my water on the 15th, and I had him on the 16th at 3:58 in the morning. The reason I say 3:58 is because a whole bunch of family was out in the waiting room, and my brother looked at his watch when he heard the baby cry, and his watch said 3:57, and he wanted me to call him Magnum. So anyway, I think unless it's really, really, really overdue or there's any stress on the baby, I don't think you should induce. I really don't. But my labor, it turns out that my uterus does not want to contract because my pelvis is locked. And so it's like almost like my body saying, I'm not going to push because it ain't coming out the way it went in. I had to have C-sections. So, all right, listen, folks are starting to leave. So I have to go and prepare my pantry pull Thanksgiving supper. I have to do my pies and get those in the oven. And hopefully you will have the video tomorrow. Even though tomorrow is Thanksgiving, I think tomorrow Howie and I are going to do firewood. Maybe, do a fire in the middle of the driveway where it's like gravel and stuff so that we can burn cardboard and leaves and all that stuff while we load the wood. I'm going to try and help them load wood. If I can toss it in the wheelbarrow and take it over to the porch and toss it up to the porch to him, I would be grateful, because he's better at stacking it than I am. Not that I can't stack wood. I can. So that's our day. Tomorrow is going to be an outdoor day. I'm going to clean out the garden and I'm going to pull my turnips and my parsnips. And I'll be canning them. I'm going to check my beets. And then everything else is getting pulled and cleaned for winter out of the garden. So it's an outdoor day tomorrow. Now hi Cheryl. Dutchek. Now, we're going to close with a prayer, which is always just as important, especially at Thanksgiving. For those of you who don't want to stay, there's no judgment. This is just for all of us who want to get together and you connect to your faith. I'll connect to mine. If there's anything in what I say that doesn't resonate with you, then leave it out and just take what does. This is about love, light, and laughter and joining in healing light. Okay. This isn't religion. This isn't a specific religion. This is us sharing the commonalities of our faith. Okay. You do you, I'll do me. And let's spread some love and light on the world and on each other. Okay. So absolutely, Linda. Hey, Carla. I'm good. We're just about to close here. We've been on for an hour. All right, here we go. Let's do some deep breathing to breathe in the positive, breathe out the negative, okay? Breathe in the joy and the hope and the love. Breathe out the fear. Breathe in the light, breathe out the darkness, okay? So let's do 3 nice deep breaths. Hey, God, creator and one source of everything. Thank you, God, for bringing us together today on this beautiful fall day of falling leaves and sunshine and the smell of leaves in the ground, baking bread. Thank you, God, this is a Thanksgiving prayer also. Thank you for my pantry, for the energy to get the things done that we needed to get done and the things we need to get done now. Thank you for the firewood and the clean chimney and the meat coming to our freezer. Thank you for our friends and our YouTube family who we come together to spread love and joy and connect with each other. God, there's a lot of people having a hard time right now. People are sick. People are mentally traumatized, mentally, emotionally, spiritually traumatized by the events that have been going on in the world and the way they've been handled. There are people that are ill and alone without family or friends, afraid. God, we lift all of those people up to you. All of those people that are alone and neglected or rejected, ill, frightened, in anguish. We lift them up to you, God, so that we know you're there. We lift them up to you and we place them before you, before us. We place them at your feet so that you can spread the light and love that you are so, so much. Because we know you are light. We know you are love, God. Everything else is just fluff on the furniture. Please, God, we ask that you look after those folks and that we want to thank you for everything we have. I may not have a turkey, but I got turkey in the pantry, and we're going to make that shine. So thank you, God, for the bountiful blessings of the harvest and of the blessings in my YouTube family. May we all go forward in the light of your love. Amen. Shalom. Namaste. Miigwech. Peace be with you. Blessed be. Walk in the ever-shining light of God's love. Whatever language you use, the language of love is always best. Take care. God bless. And I'll see you guys on Thursday. I love you. Don't ever forget that. Just because I'm on the other side of a camera doesn't mean I can't love and spread love. All right? Take care. God bless.